What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. Today I am doing not a tire, an inner tube repair on my Commander Pro. Last week I do a DoorDash on my electric unicycle, and last week I had an order and I was riding on the sidewalk, and the way this sidewalk was constructed, it had a very sharp turn, and with what I was carrying, I just wasn't trying to maneuver like that, so I just kept going straight, and then I tried to ride up on the sidewalk like at a straight angle, and I caused quite a good sized hole in my inner tube. So I replaced it last week. It was holding, and then I got another little hole, so I'm repairing that. As you can see, I was taking out these Allen wrench screw heads from one side, placing them over, keeping them clustered together. There's about 12 to 16 screws on each side. I don't remember exactly, excuse me. So yeah, I'm just cranking these out, putting them aside, and you'll also notice I'm kind of taking them out like sporadically, not all at the same area all at once. Just trying to keep the pressure on the panels like even. So right here I am removing the battery packs away from the motor and tire so I can gain access there. And right here there's 4 more bolts on each side, part of the suspension bracket that you need to remove. So I'm removing those. Those are also Allen key screws. There's 4 of them, and again I'm sporadically crisscrossing, releasing the screws one at a time. And then right here, don't do what I did, I just kind of left the screws on. Oh, right here I'm just showing there's 4 screws on the other side, so obviously repeat the same process. But you'll see right here what I was saying, don't do what I did. I left those screws in on the cable side, and you just want to take those screws completely out, and you'll see why in a second. But once you take those screws out on each side, the motor cable sits like in a little trough. You want to feed that out, and then once you do that, that allows you to pull the cable out a little bit more, and you can pull the whole motor and tire out. Right here you can see what I was talking about with those screws, like they're getting caught on the motor cable. I was just kind of being lazy, trying to do it quick, but if you pull those completely out and put them aside, you won't have that fumbling to deal with. And then yeah, you'll have the tire out, and then right here taking the tire off so I could remove the inner tube. Usually I could have this whole process done like in real time in like probably 30 minutes. This time around it took me a bit longer because I have that green run flat slime in the inner tube. So when I took the air out, it wasn't releasing all the air, so it was a bit difficult to remove the inner tube. But nonetheless, I got it out. Right here you see me looking into the tire, and asked my girlfriend for a wet rag so I can I noticed some metal shavings in there, so I was just trying to remove them before putting the inner tube back in to prevent any other possible holes or punctures in the tube. That's probably what caused this second puncture, to be honest. So right here I got a wet cloth, and I'm just dapping up the metal shavings, and you'll see right now how much is actually in there. All that is just grime and metal shavings in there. I just kind of clean that out before putting the inner tube back in. And like I said, there's still a bit of slime in that tube, so it was a bit harder for me to get it back into the rim. But nonetheless, I end up getting that inner tube back under the tire, as you'll see here in a second. Yeah, I was fumbling with it for a minute, like I said. So maybe next time, if you have slime in your tube, just make sure to squeeze all the slime out as much as possible before doing this, because you want that inner tube with as less air as possible in there to make this process a whole lot easier. Trust me. But like I said, I just kept at it, and eventually I got that tube back in there. As you can see, just making sure the valve is back into the little socket or the little hole in the rim. Yeah, just making sure it's aligned up or aligned. You don't want your inner tube valve kind of off to the side when you're putting it back on. I'm just checking the inner tube is in the middle of the rim, and then just trying to push it on myself a little bit, then using the tools to get that tire back on. And this is a lot easier if you have at least 3 of these tools. Over the time, I've bought one set, and which comes with 2 from AutoZone, and then just more recently I couldn't find the ones that I had, so I had to buy another pair, which they're only like $7 or $8, so not too bad. And like I said, having 3, if you can use all 4, even better, but I find it with 3 it works pretty well. So I'm just going around working this tire back on, and I apologize, I'm in my camper van right now doing this voiceover, and a gardener just happened to start mowing lawn in front of the home that I'm parked in front of. So if you can hear that lawnmower, I apologize. But yeah, so I'm just working the last bit of the tire back onto the rim, and the last little bit is usually a little harder, but there it is, popped it back on. Then you want to lift that motor back up in between the suspension, line it up. So you could either put the motor cable back in first, or I like to get those 4 mounting screws back in first, align them up, and just like hand tighten them as much as possible. And on both sides, get one in first. On one side, get one in on the other side. I like to have at least 2 of the screws in, hand screwed, like I said. And then you can put the other ones just to make sure everything is aligned already before putting the motor cable back in. And yeah, you just, with the motor cable, you just want to make sure you do put the motor cable back in the little trough that it sits in, because I've done that one time where I forgot to put the motor cable back in, and I put everything back together, and I started riding, and right away my motor cable got caught between my battery pack, and luckily I heard it right away, and I was able to jump off and stop my wheel. And it did kind of tear the rubber or the coating around my motor cable a little bit, but I just I had some like electrical tape that I just patched it up with, and it's been fine. But yeah, make sure you get that motor cable back in the slot before anything, because you do not want a messed up motor cable, believe me. Anyways, here I am testing out the suspension, making sure it's moving the way it's supposed to, and I'm gonna give the inner tube and tire a little test. Feels good, it's holding. And so there you have it. I will be back on the road in Long Beach doing DoorDash deliveries. Once again, thank you for visiting my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So thank you again for visiting my channel. If you have any questions and or suggestions for me, please leave them in the comments, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.